Good afternoon. This is Hunter, or Cifaretto, my in-game name on the Ascension Bronzebeard Warcraft Reborn private server, the home of Prot Pally tanking content creation regarding this server. I just want to make a huge shout out to my wife, Kristen, who allows me to make these videos and play as much as I do. I'm glad you haven't filed those divorce papers yet, because I really appreciate your company. And a big shout out to the OG Prot Pally, the big man himself, Rob Reiner, and his beautiful wife, who, left us this week. Just a great film guy, a lot of great movies, a lot of great roles, and it's just a massive tragedy that happened so close to the holiday season. And, it just makes me sad of what's going on in the world. It makes me want to stay inside and play this game even more. Because, what's the point? Talking about the world, we'll be talking about a lot of Worldforged gear today as we dive into 3 builds that I'm working on. What I think, is best in slot for like mitigation. What I'm working with for fire resistance gear in Molten Core, because that just dropped this weekend. And, more of an examination into how I think the viability of my Prot DPS Bloodbath build is in Molten Core right now. And that's kind of the main focus of this video. I'm a little under the weather today, so pardon if my voice is a little shot. But without further ado, as always, let's get into it. And we're going to start with the Fire Res set. Not too many changes thus far. But, I'm still using the Cenarian Helm with Synchronous Vengeance for the extra hit rating. As you see, I do need a Drain Eye. Something that I'll be talking about a lot this video as we move into just like the general Worldforged items we should upgrade as Protection Paladins or tanks and the like, is this helmet right here. You'll see when I apply it, I get to like 80. I'll find a way to make up my expertise here, but, we'll be talking about this helmet a lot, and it's not fully upgraded, so we'll be talking about that in due time. The Scalebane Pendant, this is the fully upgraded version of it after you kill both Hakar and Rag on normal, and then upgrade it with Worldforged, or Ascension runes. Plus 10 stamina, plus 10 fire resist, decent CTC, and defense rating, parry, and block. I'm still rocking the Dark Soul pieces. There are some Dark Iron pieces that can rival them, but, we really have to build around our hit rating. We can't be main or off-tanking if we're not hitting, if we're not building threat. So, these are still pieces that I'm using in both my fire resistance set and my mitigation set. That's kind of, there's going to be a lot of rationalizing in this video because there's so much gear saturation now with the release of T1, T2 gear sets. We have more BOEs. We have more Worldforged upgrades, as I've mentioned ad nauseum already in this video. And lastly, we have just other, that's it. That's it. Fuck it. Yeah, Dark Soul 3-piece. It's still really nice because all of these pieces give you so much hit. The enchant I'm using for my fire res is just plus 5 all resistances. Wildfire cape. There is a better cape. It doesn't give you as much stamina, I don't think. I can move to the raid vendor at the end of the video. But I'm just really going over my actual gear sets. This is the Upper Blackrock Spire cape with the plus 15 fire resist. The Dark Soul Breastplate of the Beast. I just crafted another Dark Soul piece, and I applied the +5 Fire Resist enchant to it, which is the Leatherworking Flame Weave Armor Patch. Be buying those up. In a vacuum, it does add up. The Lawbringer Wrist Guards. I would use, when you're clearing Molten Core on normal, you'll see these drop. These are like our T1 pieces, I guess you call them. I only really played Priest and Warlock in Classic. Really, you gotta only go for the 3-piece right now. It's okay. Like, getting a little more stamina and health pool's nice. Things are hitting a little harder in Molten Core. Fierce Blows are hitting a little harder. And I don't think Fierce Blows can be mitigated by, like, CTC. So, like, dodge, parry, block doesn't matter for Fierce Blows. I mean, for, like, regular attacks, sure, it's fine. But, like, you don't, like, and that's why I always keep saying, like, stamina is king. Hit is king when it comes to, like, our stat spreads. So, like, using the Lawbringer 3-piece, and I would recommend using the Lawbringer wrists, hands, and the Lawbringer waist guard. These all... This one doesn't have fire resist, but I was using the Ice-Forged gauntlets previously until I got the hands, and I had the +5 fire resist. So you could... I'm not going to upgrade these normal pieces. I haven't really gotten the best pieces yet in my normal, heroic, or mythic run. I'll do Ascended at some point this week. I think I'll probably just apply the +6 expertise to these, so I'm just fully, all my stats are good. But you could also use the Flame Weave Armor Patch. I mean, it really, this is important to get to 26, I think. Mostly, but like 24 out of 26 isn't so bad. Yeah, these 3 Lawbringer pieces I would use over like Unmelting Ice, at least for Molten Core. Like if you're doing ZG or other content, then just put Unmelting Ice on. I guess I'll probably do the +6 stamina enchant, which would make this rival the Unmelting Ice's raw stats. Dark Soul Leggings of Quick Defense. In my Fire Res set, I used +5 Fire Resist. Have duplicates of these pieces. Like, have one with, like, the Synchronous Sigil on it, or, whatever ZG enchant for, like, legs and head. And then have one with the Fire Res. Like, one of my shoulders, Dark Soul shoulders, I have the +16. And then, the other one, I have the +5 All Resist. I'm using the Stompers of the Argent Dawn here. I switched out my +7 stamina enchant, which I didn't like to do, but I did add the +5 fire resist. It just helps. And I'll go into more detail in a little bit. The fully upgraded One Ring to Flame Them All, the Ungoro Crater, the center of the map ring, +14 fire resist. Good stat spread, usable for any class. Again, the dimly opalescent ring of fire resist could be better for pure fire because it's 17 fire resist, I think is the roll. The Geo Band, something to note here. Okay, so this is fully upgraded. Don't be an idiot like me. The original Geo Band, the upgraded ZG version, not the upgraded MC version, gives you 15 hit. It's glitched. That one still gives you 15 hit. If you need that, one extra hit, the resists don't change, I don't think. I think they were all +7 before, and you get, 10 more health with the upgrade. Honestly, I wouldn't upgrade this yet. Just keep your base ZG upgrade version. Not a high prio piece to upgrade with Runes of Ascension. This would be. The Scaleband Pendant's up there for, priority. And we'll get into, priority for, upgrading, because I know runes are hard to come by unless you're, grinding dailies out or just feeding money to Dutch. Winter's Last Embrace. This is fully upgraded. You get a little more stamina. I think the ZG one might have been like plus 11 or plus 12 or something. And like defense could have been like plus 12. So this is a much better upgrade. I would say this is a very high prio upgrade for fire resist. Blazing Emblem. I'm still using like the 22 fire resist one. I have like 4 gold left, so I can't be like spending money to get the plus 25. But its use is really good during like the end rag phase, or Magmadar, or Baron parts. Not, and I'll explain why it's not as important as Baron, because like the tank swap mechanic's fairly simple, but it's something you can use to mitigate fire damage throughout. What I think is the best in slot shield right now, if you're doing Molten Core, is the Crimson Dragon Scale. I fully upgraded this, so it gives you a little more fire resist. I think it was 13 at the ZG upgrade, and now it's 15. Interesting thing of note would be when you upgrade to the MC version. This is why like I'm like starting to fucking run out of money, because like I do enchant like some of my Worldforged gear, and when you fully enchant or fully upgrade to the MC version after you clear Ragnaros on normal, your enchant on any Worldforged item will disappear. So I had to get another like stamina enchant in this instance. Okay, still using the Dreaming Eternity. It's still pretty good. I still think it is best in slot. You just get like better defense rating, good sustain with Brutal Crusader, and the shadow damage that you get healed by. I think they reduced the damage on it a little bit. Libram of Truth, you just want to help your party out with the Devotion Aura. You want to get that little bit of defense rating, and you get plus 16 stamina on the Mythic Libram of Truth. Something to note, and I'll go over this when I'm like talking to this guy, just so you guys can see all of the fully upgraded Worldforged stuff. The Ancient Dark Iron Mace might be BIS now. It's close. Like, you'll see the stat spread, and I'll explain why. I think it might be best in slot. Okay, that's like my fire resist set. So let's just go over this here. Fire resist is at about 143. Let's crank this. 203. With a fused sizzling roast. I think they're in my bank, or they're in my... I have a bunch in my auction house right now, or a bunch in my mail. You'll get to 218. With the use of this, you get to 232. Then you use a greater fire pot. And like this is like helpful for like Ragnaros. It's helpful for Magmadar. Baron's like, you still need like a decent amount of fire resist. He doesn't hit hard. The only difficult part is just the tank swapping mechanic with Engulf and Flames. And so the 3 fights I would use this fire res set on, I need to get the Flayer's Helm, because I think I'm going to switch this out, and I might try and find expertise somewhere else, whether it's here or here, to get me to max expertise. But the Flayer's Helm, I'll really explain why I think that is an essential item to upgrade as soon as you can, along with this, the Elder Pipe, because I know not everyone has the gear I have. Alright, getting into my mitigation, my Cifaretto TC build. Somewhere here. Alright. So, I'm not saying this is best in slot. I'm saying this is what works for me. There's so much gear now that I have to do a lot of math, and I'll be doing a lot of work. This is just like part 1 of another like 10-part series of stuff as I, prog through Ascended. Twilight Face Guard still, with the Presence of Might enchant to give you 46 total stamina. I like using this Battle Weaver's necklace. It gives you a decent stat spread. It gives you hit rating, which obviously doesn't matter on this build, so you can swap it with something like the Mythic Medallion of Steadfast Might. and you'll be fine. I don't think, no. If you like value a little more damage, maybe some more inherent block with the block value with the strength, you could use this. Talisman of Protection Ascended could be used alternatively. What's the stamina? Like, this just gives you 17 stamina. I'm telling you, stamina is king. Here's my Dark Soul Shoulders of quick defense with the plus 16 stamina. The way I'm built, I'm actually using the Iskander's Pelt instead of Overlord's Embrace just to get this expertise up. Any alternative can be used, like Overlord's or Cloak of Warding or Ashen Cape. Like, Ashen Cape fully upgraded is still, is insane, but, I would get, hit rating expertise items first, and then worry about upgrading, Ice Forged, Ashen Cape, Slime Coated Cape, stuff like that. Dark Soul Breastplate of Precise Might. I still use the 3% increased threat and 5 defense rating. That's the Earth Ward Gambison. And I'm using, just for the extra stamina, I'm using the Lawbringer Wrist Guards, Lawbringer Hand Guards, Lawbringer Waist Guard. I really want to get the mythics of these, but hopefully that is something I can do soon. Anyway, don't worry about the 6-piece. Your armor by 15% of your strength, it's not that important to me, in my opinion. Plus, you'd be losing hit on pieces. If you're worried about fire resistance, even on your mitigation set, you can, probably swap out Argent Dawn with, the Dark Iron Boots or whatever, or something else that has fire resist. It's just something you can do. These are, pretty good gloves. Even on, the normal version, you get, a really, really high dose of stamina. Yeah, same with the... Yeah, these 3, I think, would be the ones I would use. Waist, wrist, hands. So just keep that in mind. Because, you use the Dark Soul in your other slots. Stompers. I'm just using the Overlord's Onyx Band. I'm not going for the extra dodge rating. I mean, it doesn't really matter because, for Fierce Blows, they can't be dodged. Inscribed Protector's Ring. So, as I've said many times in the video, in Stormwind or Orgrimmar, there's a jeweler that you can buy all these, class-specific or, role-specific, I'll say, rings to upgrade your base Protector's Ring, which does cost 600 gold. It's another 125 gold. You get 11 hit, expertise by 8, defense by 19, 70 armor, which is good, 16 stamina. Deceiving Refraction, Signet of Vitality. I mean, these 2 pieces here add 500 health, so... Just stay with these. There's no other point to get anything else. Dreaming Eternity, maybe again Ancient Dark Iron Mace for mitigation. And that's in Wetlands, Arathi Highlands, Under the Bridge. Great song. Crimson Dragon Scale. I mean, you're just gonna, for MC, use Dreadguard Mythic for ZG, but everything else, just use Crimson Dragon Scale. You gotta trust me on this, guys. Libram of Truth again. Mythic version. And I will blitz through this Bloodbath build because I think you can use it on normal and heroic, but I wouldn't on Mythic Plus for Molten Core. And you'll see I've added some more mitigation. I'm not using the fucking Banana Trinket. I'm not using the Zandalarian Hero Charm. I'm using the exact same mitigation pieces from my CTC build. So Signet of Vitality, Deceiving Refraction. Just really good. The only builds I don't have these in now would be the Fire Res set, where I use Winter's Last Embrace and a Blazing Emblem. And if you're richer than me, just get the best Blazing Emblem you can. Yeah, Cenarian Helm, good damage helm, good expertise, good strength, blah, blah, blah. Flayer's Helm's also an alternative, and we'll talk about that. Ascended Gubarashi Helm, also good. Medallion of Steadfast Might for that extra strength. 15 stam. Don't go crazy with the insignia of the Shifting Sands and Molten Core. Normal or heroic, I wouldn't advise it. Bloodsoaked Pauldrons Ascended. A lot of strength. The stamina enchant. Still have not got the Ascended Zulian Tiger Hide, and this is just for hit. Zandalarian Freethinker. Zandalarian Freethinker Arm Guards. Stone Grip. Freethinker Belt. These are hard to find, but you could use, like, maybe like Eversleet or Fist of Phalanx or something. Bloodsoaked Leg Plate, still great. Boots of Valor. Winter Band. I'm pretty sure this is fully upgraded. Might not be, though. But I think it's Winter Spring, obviously. Inscribed Protector's Ring. You could maybe do like Inscribed Warrior's Ring here, or Warrior's Band. And that's just kind of like my analysis of the Bloodbath build. Like, with how trash is, it's hitting a little harder. More mechanics. You're going to be using Seal of Vengeance a lot more than Seal of Command, because look, it's missing. And this is the Mystic Enchant set I would run. In my next video, I might talk with another Paladin that I play with about like a Crimson Defense build. I don't really know how that works, so he's going to kind of talk about that. But basically, like Armor of Wrath, Consecrated Zeal, Baleful Hammer as your kind of defensives. Like, all three of these epics are defensive. Consecrated Zeal, Armor of Wrath, Baleful Hammer. Glyph of Holy Wrath. You need the Glyph of Vengeance for the expertise. Deflection, extra CTC. Light's Hammer. Really great for rag healing the raids. Slowing ads. So good. Stick with this. Crusade. Conviction, Glyph of Divine Plea. Same as it's always been. And that's really all I've been using. Not a lot of, like, Seal of Command, because, like, you'll pull, what, a Core Hound here, another Core Hound there, 2 Golems, couple of fire elements that don't even, like, really hurt the raid that much, and that's the trash. I mean, there's, like, the Core Hounds hurt, the Golems hurt, or whatever the statue things are. You know, so a lot more use of, like, Seal of Vengeance or Corruption as opposed to Seal of Command. Especially if you have, like, 2 or, like, you know, another tank or 2 in your raid comp. And now for a discussion about the state of Worldforged gear and why they are generally something I would consider upgrading and saving all of your runes for. So, high prio pieces. Elder Pipe. This is, like, very close to, like, the Signet of Vitality of, like, something I could use. Like, that hit rating by 20, 19 stamina. It's just such a... Like, if you struggle with getting hit rating, there's 20 right there. The Geo Band. Don't upgrade it like I did. I'll pull it back up. Let me go back to my Fire set. Sorry, guys. Fire set. So, like, fully upgraded MC is 14. Not upgraded is 15 hit. Alright, let's talk about the piece of the hour. The Flayer's Helm. It's no Twilight Face Guard in Mitigation. Probably not as much strength as, or expertise, or it's close to, like, the Cenarian Helm. But your hit rating is 17. So with these 3 pieces, like Geo Band, if you don't upgrade it, don't waste runes like I did, you have 15 from the Geo Band, 17, therefore 32, then the Pipe and Signet of Vitality, you're almost at 80, I think. Because what? Signet of Vitality is 12, 20 with the Pipe, so you're 32, 15 with Geo Band, 47, Flayer's Helm, 64. And then you just You get, if you have a Drain Eyes, everyone should, like, in your party or in your group. You just need 6 more, and that's really easy to get. I think these might provide, like, the Lawbringers give you your hit base, gives you hit rating by 6. So you're there with 4 pieces, 5 pieces maybe. So like this would be, when I saw this, I was like, all right. And you can add like the Presence of Might to make this more mitigation focused. You can add Synchronous Sigil, Synchronous Blessing, even if you need the extra mana sustain. You know, there's options that you have on the server. Thank God for these Worldforged gear. So I would say this is like number 1 to upgrade. If you're blacking hit, anyway. And don't be dumb like me and wait on this. I've got 10,000 more runes to get. Flair's Helmet would be number 2. No reason to get the Old War Tome upgraded. Even at its Molten Core upgrade, there's no reason to do it because the Mythic and I believe even the Heroic Libram of Hope provides more CTC. So this is useless unless you don't get that drop. Winter's Last Embrace, going for like Fire Res, a little more mitigation. Consider this higher prio. Same with the Scalebane Pendant. Consider it higher prio. Alright, and then let's move like yes, Ashen Cape's crazy with its mitigation. I think one of the Cogwheel bands, like Cogwheel's Compass, is very good too. Or Cogwheel's Band, very good. Iceforge, very good for mitigation. But you could probably upgrade these last. Like the Ancient Dark Iron Mace, and this is why I think it might be better. So it doesn't have the self-sustain of the Shadow Bolt heal that this provides, and it gives you a little less stamina. But your defense rating is higher, your dodge rating is higher, and there's the built-in mitigation with the Fire Shield. I don't know which one is better, but I think after I get the Flair's Helm, I'm going to go for the Ancient Dark Iron Mace, and then probably Fire Gut. I don't even know if I would, because I think Fire Gut's only 1... Yeah, no, Fire Gut can wait. Fire Gut can wait. These are really good for CTC. Dark Iron Leg Plates, they're Searing Gorge. If you're like an offensive class, or like Druid or something, and Sindasar Bonestring wouldn't be bad to upgrade for a little bit more Fire Res, but I'm pretty sure this is just better. Scalebane Pendant. Stuff that has like niche usage would be like Libram of Remembrance if you're more built for spell power for some reason, but like these can wait. Ogre Fingersleeve could be up there if you're lacking the expertise. Another hit rating one, not as much stamina as some other pieces, but like that's a hit rating of 13. Ebon Crypt Band. If for some reason you don't have the Ashen Cape, you can go for the Slime-Coated Cloak. I'm not exactly sure what would be better about it. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth. But I guess if you, like, sold the Ashen Cape, the Slime-Coated Cloak could be used. The only shield that's worth upgrading is Crimson Dragon Scale. I'll hover that over that again. So, like, I guess if I had to list in order. One more time. Elder Pipe, number 1. Flair's Helm, number 2. Scalebane or Winter's Last Embrace, probably 3, along with Crimson Dragon Scale, because they're all, like, Fire Res items. And then just slowly try and pick off these, like, mitigation pieces, like Ancient Dark Iron, Ashen Cape, Iceforge Gauntlets. fire gut, and then everything else is like niche case. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna like look at like breakwater leggings. No hit. These are good. Flamewalker leg plates. You can make up hit rating. A lot of armor. Very comparable stamina to Dark Soul, I think. Not as much, but yeah, it's still good. A lot of armor. That's really it. That's kind of where I'm at with like Prague. Like the only fights you really need fire res for would be Mag, Baron, and Rag. Everything else just use like the Cifaretto CTC build. That's about it for today. I just wanted to kind of go over some like basic Prague. We'll be running like an Ascended raid by myself. Well, not by myself. I hope people join me for it, but there are some requirements if you want to get in. You need to bring Goblin Sapper charges. You need to bring Fused Sizzling Roasts. You need to bring extra stamina food, so like cooked glossy mite fish. You need to bring greater fire pots. Kind of listen to my call outs. Like, I'm a chill dude. But, you know, if you want to get into, like, the Ascended Prague, that would be my requirements. Yeah. Signing out. Have a great day, guys. Bye.